Operating from the gun, Feldman. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Blake Gillikin now. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw. Bolden. And this one too low. You look at this Arizona defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Glover. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Hall on a give up the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Hall again. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the first down at the Cardinals' 27. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Let's go now.
They'll run with Hall. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now a 2nd and 10. A give up the middle with Benson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Ready?
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Set. Curve 19. Curve 19. 19 Lion. 19 tight. 19 tight. 79 Bronco. Ready?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Ready up.
2nd and 10. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. The short throw pulled in by Woods. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Second down and 8.
Off play action. Bolden.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Still going inside the 20.
And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better.
Oh, another ball up for grabs here, and this one is intercepted.
Picked off by Mack Wilson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Ready? Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On first down, it's Benson.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
Now that's how you start a drive. Not only do you pick up a first down, you do it on a chunk play. Big yardage, and now you put a little bit of a dent in the confidence of the defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
That's complete to his rookie second-round pick.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Off the play fake. Feldman. And he's wrapped up. taken down back at the 25.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Feldman.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw. Bolden.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
A first catch there for Wilson and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Operating from the gun. Bolden. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready?
2nd and 9 now. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now 3rd down and 7.
Here we go, here we go. Take off.
Back to throw. Feldman. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught downfield by Harrison. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Throwing to start the drive. Bolden. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Bolden. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This defense, 3 interceptions now. And, Charles, obviously that one for the pick 6. That gives them a 3-possession lead, and they are really in the driver's seat.
Makes you imagine what that lead could become with another half of football left to play, because the way they're getting after a partner, 30 points, 40 points, even 50 points, that type of a lead, not out of the question. And neither is another pick 6.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception. Bolden. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. A final shot before break. Bolden. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
A final shot before break. Bolden. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick.
And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Looking to throw. Bolden. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Bolden. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing to start the drive. Feldman. And he's got his man on the out route. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be an Arizona 1st down on a gain of 17.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set, and that 3-4... you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Let's go now.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Benson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll try again.
Yeah, this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run with Benson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll run for it. This is White. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Jets are going to get the football back.
Now Hall to start the drive.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line.
Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun, Bolden. And now here is another interception. Buda Baker with a pick, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he's loose down the middle of the field. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's 2nd and 8.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down. Bolden, touchdown! Garrett Wilson, a 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jets get a bit closer.
And that score there makes this a much more manageable deficit.
Agreed, because before that touchdown, this looked like this was about over. Instead, they've got hope. They're back in the game. They feel better about themselves, and now they have a chance to make some more plays.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Arizona. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. Bolden. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Andre Cisco.
And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run over center with Benson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try the jet sweep with Harrison.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
And they'll go on the ground.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Feldman dancing to his left, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Go.
A handoff here to Benson.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here we go, sack.
On 3rd down, here's Benson.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Ready? Go.
They'll go again with Benson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Set. Hut, hut.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, Charles, just impressive in all three phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort. Really well executed. Congratulations to them.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson inside the 20. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 9 here.
They'll go again with Hall. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete dominance.